Good afternoon. My name is Lydia Raven, and I went to the new student dialogue. I'm sexy and I know it. Strong men and beautiful women. In the dialogue, we discussed mostly about how there are standards for beauty that aren't necessarily accepted in reality, such as being women need to be super skinny and wear tons of makeup, or men needing to be buff and big to be masculine. There's stereotypes against Asians being really smart or short or little, or transvestites being weird. So we kind of went through those stereotypes and talked about how it's not really the outside that matters, but it's what's on the inside. It's a personality that's beautiful. It's a humor that we find beautiful, not just appearance. During the dialogue, I think that we actually did have a dialogue, not a debate or a discussion. People were trying to understand each other and trying to hear each other out. We were trying to reach a common ground, not necessarily accept others' opinions, but at least agree to disagree. We were conversing and not just arguing, or not just trying to talk to have a point to say something because we need a grade type thing, such as like in a Socratic seminar. So I think we achieved a true discussion. At some points there were some quiet times in which nobody was speaking, but it wasn't necessarily an awkward silence or that nobody cared. It was just people were thinking, and that gave time to contemplate what was being said. There were some quieter voices in our dialogue. Actually, there were some people who didn't really speak at all, but in the end, whenever we were supposed to go up to the posters that had the stereotypes on them and take down the stereotypes, some people who didn't speak the whole time were very passionate about taking down those stereotypes because they knew someone or were someone that was not the norm for the stereotype. So that was interesting, and there were some people who spoke a lot. They felt very comfortable speaking about their own situations, or, their history or their friends, or how they truly felt about situations. Some people, were honest and said, we'd be lying if we didn't look at outward appearance first, which is very true, but it's so sad in that we, especially as young students, tend to look at the outward appearance versus looking on the inside first. And really, in the long term, if you're looking for a life partner, that is what matters, is what's on the inside. So that's kind of what we also discussed in our dialogue. But I kind of played the role of one of the people who were talking a little bit more. I voiced my opinions and kind of asked people questions about their life stories. I was hoping to, not just spend 2 hours in a room with these people, but learn something from them, take something home, an experience, or like a sympathy for something they were going through, and understand, why people feel the way they do. Why do people have these stereotypes? Where do they come from? Are they true? It's one of those things that's great to have a dialogue about, and I learned so much. I learned that, people come from all over the world, and we talked about how, interestingly enough, that immigrants in a new society, do not feel safe. They don't feel like they're welcome. They have no idea. It's kind of like a culture shock. But then we, decided our view towards immigrants, we're, very harsh on these people that come to the United States, and we don't realize that they're humans as well. And another thing we talked about was that beauty is just not two-sided. People want to say like, oh, we want to look on the inside of people. We want to realize, their personality, not just their looks, or not just their weight, or, the color of their skin, but we want to look on the inside, and we want to find that inner beauty, or find, that the flaws are beautiful. But in reality, we ourselves judge our own appearance too harshly and kind of give a double standard for like, oh, we're going to be less harsh on other people, but we judge ourselves and say that, we're not pretty enough, we're not skinny enough, we're not smart enough, whenever really people don't realize that they're being too harsh on themselves as well. So I think I took away from this dialogue that people will come from all over, there's stereotypes all over, but we need to take a step back and not have preconceptions about people due to their stereotype. We need to realize that they may not be that stereotype. That stereotype may not even be true. And especially that the double standard that exists for men and women needs to stop, because everyone is a creation and they were created for a specific purpose, and that purpose was not to be scrutinized or to be looked down upon. Everybody is beautiful in their own way, and everyone is beautiful to someone. And I also honestly feel that beauty lies within the eye of the beholder, that we do not need to be so harsh towards each other or so harsh on ourselves. Thank you so much. I think this dialogue is a component of C1000 because it allows students to engage in learning through a different type of learning, through having conversation and hearing others, more of a involvement in the classroom. I think that it's important in universities to conduct dialogues just to hear another point of view besides just the teacher. You don't have to listen to the teacher all day long. You can listen to your peers and learn how to dialogue with your peers and how to try to find a common ground, or at least an understanding of another person's opinion. I think this is really great. It's a really great skill for life, and it's a really great way to learn new things. Thank you for your time.